And it's Ken Kreitzer for Talking Business, Sons of American Legion Radio, rallypoint.com. I have a chance today to talk with a good friend, Army veteran Richard Robitaille, who is a member of American Legion Post 106 in Hasbrook, New Jersey. Richard, great to have you visit today.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
That's great. Now, you've had an extraordinary career service in the United States Army, 30 years. Tell us a little bit about some of the stops along the way in your U.S. Army career.
Well, I have served 30 years in the United States Army. I retired last March. I'm a Desert Storm veteran. Served with the 1st Armored Division during the Great Westward Swing with General Norman Schwarzkopf. Then I went into the Pennsylvania Army National Guard in the mid-90s, where I finished out my career, deployed to Kosovo in 2003 to 2004, where we did peacekeeping duty there. So, been a long time, 11 Bravo, 11 Charlie, and retired as an infantry first sergeant, 11 Zulu.
Well, thank you for your service. You did extraordinary work. Now, one of the things that is notable, very notable among many notable parts of your career, is the education that you attained and reaching a PhD level. Tell us a little bit about how you were able to combine your Army career with an advanced level of education.
Well, I always wanted to be in higher education, so I initially worked at Valley Forge Military College outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I went to night school. I went to Widener University, where I got a master's degree and became an instructor, became an assistant professor, then associate dean. Then I kept going and finished a doctorate. I actually got notified of my completion of my doctorate when I was on night duty in the ops center in Kosovo. So It's kind of an interesting thing. Came back home and then eventually transferred to Berkeley College, where I oversaw military and veteran affairs for almost 10 years, building veteran affairs programs across the greater New York City area.
Very good. Well, we always ask some of the cadets at West Point and many others, but we see many Army and military officers and NCOs advancing their education. You were able to do that in a very significant way. How were you able to do combining all the different things of military service while still being able to advance your education?
Well, the GI Bill was a great initial start. I used my GI Bill for my bachelor's degree, and then when I deployed and became eligible for more benefits, I eventually transferred those benefits to my daughter so she could go to college. But I went to night school. You build your life around working during the day and then taking classes in the evening, and I would take 2 classes every term for 5-6 years till I finished. So it was just a consistency, a dedication to goal completion until you finally finish.
Very good. I remember my days going to night school for an MBA at Iona College, and I learned so much from that experience and just perseverance, taking courses at night and for a number of years on end. How have you been able to use your education, your military service, and I know you got a very vigorous website company that you're working now. How you're able to use the education that you gained to advance your career?
Well, it's been absolutely pivotal. When you work in higher education, you need to have a master's and a doctorate. It's kind of a calling card of the industry. So I've worked all the way up to an associate vice president of a college. I've also have my own independent contracting company where I worked at the United States Military Academy at West Point for a short period of time on contract, rebuilding their web systems and their front page on their website. So it's allowed me to really have varying areas of opportunities that I've been able to work into, depending on, when an opportunity presents itself, I would have the ability to exercise that opportunity.
Very good. Well, certainly websites have changed and gone through different generations. You have small businesses that have developed using various programs, but when you get into a larger organization, certainly, you talk about an enterprise level. What are some of the factors in websites today that have changed over the past year since they became pretty normal, pretty standard?
Well, I think that's part of the big problem in website development now is people are falling into this pitfall of making sites look like everybody else's site. For example, if you go to every college or university site, you see the same similar pictures of kids walking across grass smiling. You see professors looking to the sky. You see a lot of people simply wanting to imitate what their peers are doing. So you have to be able to differentiate. And what that is and what I do is I look at what makes an institution unique You have to do your research, you have to do investigations, you have to do interviews, and then you want to highlight that uniqueness with action. You want to show what that uniqueness, what they're actually doing with your imagery, and now more than ever with live video, whether it's 5-second video clips, 10-second video clips. You want people, when they go to the website, see something happening, not just looking at a static picture, because that's going to catch their attention. And you want to do that on the main, no more than 5 areas, which is really my concept, is identify the 5 key areas and then bring that viewer in and make them want to click on there, make them want to see what's next.
Well, so much has changed now. We have social media, and you're right in line with what I've been involved with quite a bit, is doing video. We're doing a video interview today. What are some of the ways that a website development program can implement video and other types of media, maybe connect to social media pages?
Well, you want to tie, everything has to be relevant, and you need someone that's going to constantly update it. So whether you're changing your imagery and your video to the seasons, which is kind of a neat trick, you can have the same exact action happening in the spring or summer or fall. You want video that's going to show new and upcoming things that's happening at your organization or your institution. You want people want to come back to your site. You want to always, as they say, keep them wanting more. Make them say, "Wow, this place is alive. It's vibrant." Every time they click on it, it's not just any click on an old YouTube video that's the same video over and over, which used to be done 5, 6, 7 years ago. That's no longer acceptable. Now you want to constantly change your 5 and 10-second video clips to constantly show that it's a living community. And with today's technology, you can do that.
How do smaller businesses that I see a lot of small businesses still struggling to get started using websites and to maintain them and to try to, as you said, make them more action-oriented, more engaging? What are some of the ways that smaller businesses can try to make their websites more engaging?
Well, I would say get away from, the old concept was have a storefront concept. You want your website to look like the front of your store, whether it's on a street. But that is a concept that we no longer look at. You want to look at, once again, what makes your organization different, what makes it unique, what's the product you're either pushing or the service you're trying to sell, and show that in action. Show what your product is actually doing. Show what the service you're doing is actually providing. You can go to a realtor's website and some look like a storefront, just like any storefront on the street. Or you can go to some where they actually show people out and alive with customers, how they engage with their customers, the customer service aspect, how they get into people's lives, how they want to know what concerns them. So you have to get into the heart of what it is you are claiming to provide or sell.
Very good. And I think the thing I notice the most, I do manage a number of Facebook pages, YouTube, and Twitter, and Instagram has become very important, LinkedIn certainly. How do you integrate what your communications might be on a social media platform with your website?
Well, the social media platform it serves a vital purpose, but it is not the major purpose. More people have access to the web than they do to the social media. There are some people who only publish on Instagram or Facebook, and what you're now leaving out is all of your customers who don't have Instagram or Facebook, so you're not accessing them. So you have to have a diverse platform. The web is still the most accessed element. That is still should be your priority to build out your website properly, because that's going to have the most content. And also, if we're on social media, all those things are either friends or followers. So you're only reaching out to already known customers, which is important to keep that base, but you have to have the public website to gain new followers and use the website to drive people to the social media sites.
Very good. And Richard Robitaille is a veteran of the U.S. Army, now operates a company which does website development. Tell the audience how they may be able to get in contact with you if they'd like help with their website.
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, so you can go to my LinkedIn profile. You can put in Richard Robitaille into LinkedIn. That is where I maintain my professional presence. And that's primarily where I operate out of. I don't operate on too many other platforms. I keep the business and professional side there.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll have contact info on the page for you. And great to talk with you. What are you looking forward to doing in 2019? What are some of your goals this year?
Well, as a veteran in transition, there's many organizations that work with folks like myself who are retired from the military and looking to move into different civilian aspects. Any organization, or I would say look to hire veterans. They come with a great deal of experience. They come with a great, wide, diverse base of skills that from leadership to development to you name it. The United States military gives a great deal of responsibility and experience to very young people and over a very long period of time. So they're great people. Veterans understand teamwork. They understand a chain of command. They understand authority. They understand mission accomplishment. And these are folks that you would want in your organization.
Absolutely. Richard Robitaille, veteran of the United States Army, New Jersey resident, member of Post 106 in Hasbrook, New Jersey. Great to see you and great to have you visit and talk a little bit about your career and your transition to working on websites. And great to see you. This is Ken Kreitzer for Talking Business and Sons of the American Legion Radio and RallyPoint.com.